Are you whacking the tripod with your little tail?
Smack, smack.
Is that what you're doing, you silly boy? You're gonna go in the bloopers. Bloop. Hi guys, I'm Savvy, and this is Jane, and today we're gonna talk about if grad school is worth it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's from my dancing to the girl wash your face music. So, as you guys probably know, we're both in grad school right now. It's both of our last quarter in grad school, and we're about to finish up our master's degree in writing and publishing at DePaul. Quick disclaimer, neither of us are paying to go to grad school.
Yeah.
I have a grad assistantship, which means that my tuition gets covered in exchange for the work I do with the school.
And I have a full-time position in tech support.
Yeah.
And so I'm very privileged and I'm very honored to be able to go to grad school and not stack up more on student loans. So, we can take this argument with a grain of salt, but...
Yeah, because, if I didn't get the grad assistantship, I wasn't going to go.
Right.
At first, when I first applied, they were like, we don't have any grad assistantship positions open. So I was like, oh, okay, I just won't go then. So I was totally planning not to go. And then a position opened up, and they emailed me, and were like, position opened up, you can have it. I was like, well, that's great. Also, I was in the middle of planning a wedding, so I was like, I planned my wedding thinking I wasn't going to grad school. And then I was like, well, I'll just get married in the middle of fall quarter, my first quarter of classes. So that's what I did. I got married right in the middle of it. And then I had to go back to class the next
I
week.
still don't know how Savvy, eats or sleeps or, does anything just with the schedule that she has. I'm I come home from work and I'm like, I don't want to do anything. But Savvy's like, I'm going to go do this other job.
No, I don't want to do anything either. I sleep so much. I'm the most exhausted person in the world.
It's that interesting thing where, when we were growing up, it was, expected of us, I guess millennial generation. That if you wanted to get a good job, then you had to go to college.
Yeah.
And now that that's sort of over, I feel like there is this greater expectation now that if you want to continue to succeed, you have to get a grad degree.
Yeah.
But at what cost? And that's the real question.
I mean, honestly, most of my friends who don't have grad degrees make way more money than me.
Yeah, and...
I mean, that's because I have so many friends that work in software development. Kids, if you want to make money, go to software development. Not if you're a little kid, because the industry will change before you grow up, but if you're 22 years old and looking for a job and you can do software development, do it.
Yeah.
I don't do that. That's why I don't make very much money. But, yeah.
Well, but it's just an element of the era that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
And so when my parents were our age, it was kind of a new thing that, you went to college to actually pursue your career, right?
Yeah.
When their parents were like, a high school degree would be fine. So things have obviously changed where it's the longer you stay in academia, I guess the better off you're supposed to be. But I don't know if grad school is for everybody.
Yeah, I think that really depends on what your career goals are. For me, I knew I didn't need to go to grad school for my career, because my career has always been I want to write full-time. And you don't need any degree to write full-time, you just need to make money writing, which it does help if you have a degree to get jobs, writing for publications and stuff like that. Yes. So it depends on, what you want to do. But, for me, when I got my undergrad degree... Actually, it was being in the marching band at Northwestern that helped me get my first paid writing job.
Really?
Yeah, which I still write for them. It's Halftime Magazine. Another alum of the Northwestern marching band is the editor-in-chief of that magazine. So, I met her through, a marching band alumni networking program, and I ended up getting a job at writing for the magazine. So, no, it's such a cool... I love that. That's, the main thing I got a job from out of college, so...
Well, but that's the other thing. There's the networking aspect where, sure, you might not necessarily need, if you're going to be a teacher or something, maybe getting a grad degree, so then you can teach at a higher level. But, the networking aspect is, I think, the strongest element, because that's how I've met so many people. I've met Savvy.
Yeah.
I've met a mentor who, really helped me try to get some books published. And it's it's knowing people who are in this industry that can help you get into it.
And, going to grad school, I've been taking advantage of, like, resources in the business school at DePaul. So, like, even though I'm not a business student, like, what's helped me a lot is, like, going into the business school area of the building and, like, meeting with professors there and just, like, asking for business advice and then just, like, going to their event functions. Because, like, with me, when I started running a business with starting Forever Home Friends, I don't have any formal business education and I don't know anything about, like, marketing other than what I'm learning along the way. So I was like, I need to learn about business. So I would just go and I would, like, learn how to write a mission statement and, like, learn how to work on, like, valuing my company. Like, all the stuff that I don't know, I would learn from them. And it was also helpful because I learned about a lot of business competitions through the business school. And then I ended up winning, like, money and grants through that. So it's, like, there's resources you can use that are not just, like, having the degree. So, like, I guess for me, like, all the work I've been putting into grad school has been worth it to have these resources available to me to just learn things and take advantage of. But it all depends how much you take advantage of. Because, like, if I just went to class, did my homework, and did nothing else and got the master's degree, like, I don't think that would be worth it at all. Right. But, like, if you're constantly going to things that are useful and constantly, like, taking advantage of every opportunity that comes your way, then I think it can definitely be worth it.
And making friends with your instructors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really feel like that's an overlooked aspect of higher education. So, like, when I was an undergrad, 18, oh god, that was a decade ago, but, like, I didn't really think about that. I just thought the degree, and, when you're that age, you don't really consider it, but with that, like, 2020 hindsight, where it's like, oh, I wish I could have done this differently. Yeah. But as a grad student, you also have the benefit of being a lot older and a lot, more perceptive about what you want from your education rather than just going through the motions and just doing whatever you wanted.
I also think when you're, like, 18 and entering college, there's a different mindset in terms of, like, who can be friends, right? Like,
right.
So you came straight out of high school, and in high school there's, like, such a hierarchy. It's like there is your teacher and then there is you, and you are not on the same level, and you call them Mr. or Mrs. whatever. You don't call them by their first name. And you have to, like, ask to go to the bathroom or go to the water fountain, which still blows my mind. Like, as a teacher, when people come up to me and ask me to go to the bathroom, I'm like, I'm not in charge of your body. Like, yes, of course you, but then, like, you get the students who abuse it. So, oh my god, it's, like, the weirdest thing. Anyway, so you, like, and then you go straight into college and you have teachers. So, like, you're still in the mindset of, like, I'm not friends with my teacher.
Yeah.
We have a professional relationship where they're above me. And then in grad school, I think you're in a different mindset where, like, now you're an adult. You're, like, generally, like, 22 and older. Mm-hmm. Sometimes much older.
Yeah.
And you're more on a level playing field with other people. So you can, like, get to know your professors. You can, like, talk to them one-on-one, and it doesn't feel like it would be weird to develop an ongoing relationship with them as opposed to in college, like, you're in a lecture hall with, like, 500 students and, like...
Just another face in the crowd.
You're just another face in the crowd. Yeah. Like, I don't know, all my classes in grad school have been, like, 12 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, and you all become friends, too.
Oh,
like,
yeah!
You kind of, like, get, like, sort of tight with the people, especially in your program, too, where you see a lot of the same faces because you're on the same path. But, yeah, like what you said with instructors, I've had instructors in writing workshops where they say, like, it's some of their most fun classes just because it's like a group of peers rather than that power dynamic of here's the teacher and then here's the students. It's like we're all working together and talking together and sharing ideas.
Yeah. And I mean, this might be different for every program. Like, we're in writing grad school, so, like, if you're in, like, medical school, I'm sure it's not the same thing.
Law school.
So, like, just ignore it. But I'm sure you already just ignored it when you heard we're getting our degree in writing and publishing. So, like, this is for this experience specifically.
Well, it's like, do you think that being an author, you need to have a grad degree?
I don't think you need to, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, like... I think, like, in terms of, like, being an author, it's all about, like, what's the work you produce. And also, like... I mean, in terms of making money as an author, it's like, how well did you get your work out there? So that's a whole different story of, like, how do you get your work in front of people? Sure. Like, how do you publish it? Who publishes it? How do you put it out into the world? Who buys it? Like, that's just a different world entirely. Yeah. But, like...
A lot of those resources, though, are available online.
That's
so
true,
it's like, you know, we don't want to say, like, grad school is the be-all, end-all for getting your foot in the door for
I definitely
publishing.
don't think it's necessary. I think you can definitely, like, I mean, you can become an author without even going to undergrad. Like, you can, like, there's no, and that's what I like about writing is, like, there's no, like, it's not like being a doctor where it's, like, you absolutely need these qualifications, which makes sense in that kind of field, because it's, like,
we don't operate on people.
Right.
And, like, slice them open with the scalpel.
But, like, in a field where it's, like, you're sharing stories and ideas with other people, really, there shouldn't be any requirement to, like, what you have to do to be able to do that. So, really, it's about, like, do you think going to grad school is going to improve the quality of your work? And do you think it's going to give you the opportunity to meet new people that are going to be able to help push you forward in your career? Do you think you're going to be able to go to good events and good resources and get good things like that that'll help you out in the long run? And if so, then, like, I'd say do it. Now, if it's going to cost you a lot of money, I don't have any advice for you on that, because we are the lucky people in the world who got to go to grad school for free. So
if the opportunity arises, sure, take advantage of that, because, you know, it's something that
if you ever get the chance to go to school for free, like, just do it. Like, that's what, so I was really stressed out in my fall quarter last year because I was, you know, getting married. I was working as a creative writing teacher and as a journalist, and I had just started Forever Home Friends, and I had just got into grad school. I had just gotten the assistantship and found out I got to go for free. So, like, I wasn't even planning to throw school into that whole mix, and I was just like, what am I going to do? And then when I was meeting up with someone at the business school to get advice on my business, I was telling her, like, this was a big conflict I went through deciding, like, should I go when, like, my schedule is already insane. And she was like, she's like, I don't care if you're, like, 8 months pregnant. Like, if you get a chance to go to school for free, you always take it. Like, you never turn down a free education. And so I was like, that's a good way to look at it, I think. Because, like, even though right now I'm just, like, drowning in work and, like, I mean, it's harder to grow my business when I'm, like, in school part of the time and I don't have much time to devote to everything, but I have such a, like, strict plan for how everything's going to go the second I graduate. It's like, I'm not even going to go to graduation because I'm like, that's a whole thing, but I'm like, I don't want to
We've already done that, we don't need to go.
I don't want to go to graduation because I want to spend every weekend for the rest of the calendar year selling my stuff at festivals. I don't want to spend any weekend doing anything else. So, like, that's important to me.
There's an element of self-motivation here that's really important, I think, especially for you, for starting a business. And for me, I'm going to be more focusing on, like, writing once school is over, just because I haven't been writing what I want to write. However, because I've been writing other things, my writing has improved, and I have learned, like, what Savvy's going to do with going to festivals and stuff. I have learned how that happens and how to be able to market myself, and I've made friends through those kinds of classes, like Savvy. We had a marketing class together.
We did. It was so good.
I really admire Savvy's work ethic. For real, because Savvy works really, really hard and has done so much, and it's really impressive to see the work. Like, you know, we've got the proof right here.
Oh, wow. Jane's pulling out my books.
No, so I went to her book event, the book release, when it came out, and it was just so put together, and just seeing the final product really motivated me to get back into it, to be like, okay, I can do this again. Because having that foundation of support is really helpful. So you've got those contacts in grad school, you've got people in your neighborhood. So we were fortunate to live in Chicago. I'm an 8-minute drive away from Savvy, so, like, hop in a car and just come over.
We're also very lucky to live in a city with good public transit. Like, I don't have a car, and I never plan to buy a car, so I'm like, just because I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, every money I make, oh my god, every amount of money I make is going to go into my business. So it's like, if I had, like, $10,000 to buy a car, I'm not going to buy a car. I'm going to plan out another year of festivals and release another couple books, and, like, that's what I would do.
So if you had those $10,000, though, would you invest that in going back to school? Like, if you didn't go to grad school right now, would you take that $10,000 and use it to your education?
No, because before I got in, I had already started working on Forever Home Friends. So if I had an extra 10,000, because I launched Forever Home Friends with a Kickstarter, which was 7,000 that I got from the Kickstarter. If I had an additional 10,000 on top of that, no, I wouldn't have used the money to spend on school. I would have used it to grow the business. Which I don't know, like, obviously I wouldn't regret it because I wouldn't know what school would have been like not having gone.
Yeah.
So, but like, knowing what experiences I've had, would I miss those? Probably. If if I had the ability to look at my life in both ways.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, when I was an undergrad, I was so sick of school.
I was not going to go to grad school.
So yeah, I did not plan on
So
going.
another reason that Jane and I are the same person is that we were both film majors.
Yeah.
In undergrad, we both majored in film and screenwriting.
Yeah. Got my degree in screenwriting.
Yeah, and now we make videos on YouTube, so...
No, so my channel, Writing with Jane, was originally based on, like, screenwriting, basically. It was just talking about story structure.
That's cool. We
and,
should
like,
make a screenwriting video.
Yeah. But, like, how to, like, craft a scene and, like, what makes a good character, what makes a good antagonist. And that stuff is sort of applied to being a writer and my journey to becoming a young adult author is long and unexpected, but grad school was sort of that welcoming mat of being like, here's all the possibilities. You can become an agent, you become an editor, you become just a copy editor. I mean, I can't even like...
That's where I first met you, was in copy editing class.
Copy editing.
Yeah.
I'm still paying off student loans from when I signed that contract at 18.
Same!
And I really wish that it wasn't like that. It's just a hard reality, especially in American culture right now, of just how little it's talked about of like whether or not you go to college, and just grad school in general is an optional side, side of things, but if you've got the money and you've got the resources, definitely go for it.
Yeah.
But don't think that you have to be a graduate student to become a successful author or to become something.
I would say, like, don't use it as a quick fix to anything.
Yeah.
Like, I had considered that in the past. There were times that I was like, because right after I graduated, I worked in sales for a month, which is like, can you imagine me working in sales? Like,
I think you'd be really good at sales.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I was terrible.
You are really good at sales.
Terrible. Well, I'm good at sales if I'm selling books. Like,
if I'm selling your own
if I'm selling my own books and they're books that I love, if I'm doing sales for a large corporation that sells like ambiguous business concepts and products, like I'm terrible at it.
Right.
So, but I did that because like, you know, people thought I'd be good at sales because I'm like persuasive when I speak to people and I have like, I'm friendly to talk to the first time.
No, she's the meanest person you'll ever meet.
No, so I worked in sales for a month and I had to quit after that month because I was like, this is killing me. Yeah. So, but at the time I was like considering, I was like, what if I went to grad school and I got a degree and so that, or I got a master's degree so that I'd be able to teach at the college level, be an adjunct professor, like, that would get me out of doing sales. That's not the right reason to go to grad school.
Right.
Also, like, I did consider becoming an adjunct professor. Like, even when I went into this program, I took a bunch of teaching classes and, like, was going to do the 2-year college teaching sequence. We can go into, like, adjunct life in another video because I think that's, like, a whole different story and, like, the problems with teaching in colleges. Like, that's a whole new video. But I'm not doing that anymore. I changed my mind on that. But that would have been like a quick fix to it. Instead, I just quit my sales job and got like just a different random day job and worked that while I was working on building up my freelance work and my business on the side. And then I got a job teaching creative writing to kids and like, you know, so you can make it work, but don't ever think that like grad school, if you have to pay for it, that like taking out loans and doing it is going to be like a fix to a larger problem.
Right.
I think that a lot of people might fall into that mindset of like, I'm tired of being at this job, or like I graduated and I'm struggling to find a job, so I'll just take out more loans and go back into school, and it's like that's gonna put you in more debt. And like I still have debt from undergrad too. Thankfully Northwestern gives good financial aid, so I'm not in that much debt. Well, okay, not that much debt. Like I guess
it's perspective.
That's
right?
perspective, right?
Yeah. An alternative, if you know, say, because life happens and things don't really work out the way that you intend things to be. Yeah. You know, and we don't have children. As of filming this, we won't
have children when you watch it either.
I don't think so. Oh geez. It'll be like a umbrella academy. No, I'm kidding. But no. So life happens. If you've got families, if you've got other things to worry about, if you've got full-time work and you can't go back to school, there are plenty of different options. Like definitely go to festivals. If you've got some things that are coming into town, maybe even if you've got to get there to travel a bit, just to get there to like meet people and just network and just talk to people. That's a huge, and I know us authors don't like talking to people. Like it's like
I do.
I'm an introvert because for somebody who has anxiety, talking to people is a huge problem for me, and talking to strangers is a huge problem. But I've kind of taught myself, fortunately, how to deal with that. But it's a huge asset to just put yourself out there and just get to know people, and you'll meet just the best people. Just in everyday life, and then they might become your friends.
Yay! So here are some recommendations for, like, if you choose not to go to grad school right now, but you still want to learn more about, like, the writing profession and want to further your education without a formal schooling program. Here's some things I'd recommend. First of all, if you write for kids or young adult, definitely look into SCBWI, the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators.
Link in the doobly-doo.
So I've been a part of them since like 2015, and in Chicago at least they have a very active chapter, and they have active chapters all over the country and some even in Europe as well. And they just put on so many good, like, informative events where you can meet other authors and learn from other authors, and authors will give, like, informative presentations and stuff, so you can just go to, like, people's discussions. And
there is a membership fee, but I feel that
also
pales in comparison to what you get out of it.
Yeah, the membership fee is like $85 a year or something. I don't pay it anymore because I always speak on at least one panel a year, and my fee gets waived.
Yeah.
But I used to pay it.
It's just something
also,
to keep it.
At least in Chicago, there's some events that you can go to even without being a member. So that's one thing to look into. Like looking into like author events at the library and stuff, and like going whenever like an author's coming near you to speak, like go meet them, go see their discussion about their book, or like go to Q&As, get in line and ask them a question of the things you want to know, because there's so much you can learn from people just by asking them.
People love talking about themselves.
They do. I know.
I mean, I put that in, jokingly, but it's like if you genuinely ask questions, people will tell you.
Whenever people do, like if I'm doing a Q&A event and people ask me questions, I'll talk to them forever about it. Like I want to talk about my work all the time.
Yeah,
so.
it's not like a secret. People aren't going to be like, oh, why are you asking me
about
how I do my job? Like, no, people want to help.
Yeah.
And if they're mean, then they're not somebody you really want to hang out with anyway. So
So there's just, look into organizations you can join, look into events you can go to, so you can still get, like, good lectures and good Q&As and stuff without going to school. But if you are able to go to school, I think it's been a really good experience, and I am really glad that I went.
Yeah, me too. For sure, yeah. And I'm going to be really proud to complete the program, and I think the DePaul program was excellent.
I love the DePaul program. I've been really impressed with it, and I mean, it's the only grad school program I applied to, or even, like you too, I'm sure, because you got to go for free also. Yeah.
but it still ranks quite highly, and there's just so many opportunities just for even, like, author events through DePaul. The program hosts a lot of famous authors to come and speak.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty cool.
Just to, go to those is really eye-opening, and it's just a really great way to just keep it, you got to do whatever you got to do, and if you got to pave new paths for whatever your future holds, then do so. But the internet is a great place to find those kinds of events, to find like-minded individuals, and to just make it happen.
Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you're enjoying the videos where Jane and I talk about very important topics in the world, like grad school and booktube and whatever else. We're going to be doing a couple more videos together, so be sure to keep an eye out for those. Jane's channel is linked in the description below, so be sure to check out her videos because she has some awesome writing advice on her channel that is amazing. If you're new to this channel, please remember to subscribe. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have new videos about books and about writing coming out, so be sure to take a look for those. In the description below, you can check out my social media. I want to be friends with you on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook and on everywhere and in real life. Like, be friends with me, reach out, say hi. I'm excited to be friends. If you're interested in my writing, you can check out my link to my novel Sculpt Yourself, which is linked in the description below. Also, the link to the audiobook is in the description below, so don't forget to check out the audiobook. It's an amazing use for your Audible credit. And for the kids and the dogs in your life, you can check out Forever Home Friends, a series of kids' books based on real rescue dogs, where 10% of the profits benefit animal shelters. I hope you guys had a great time watching this video, and I will see you again soon. Bye!